Michael Jordan didn't even hesitate.
Oh, this again.
Yes, this again.
In a quiet interview, MJ dropped one sentence that flipped the entire GOAT debate on its head.
Well, that never drove me. The stats only add up when you put forth the effort and you don't worry about it. Good things happen to those people that work hard. If I sit here and play for the stats, I would have never retired in '93. Or I still probably be chasing Wilt Chamberlain's all-time, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar all-time scoring lead. That doesn't drive me. Sure, it defines to some extent for people who don't know me, or 20 years from now would never know who Michael Jordan really is. But based on the stats, he must have been pretty decent. Those are only ways that I look at stats. Other than that, it's all about winning championships and winning. Stats that matter to me is the games that we win and the rings that you collect.
If I played for stats, I'd still be chasing Kareem. With that, he dismissed the entire argument that LeBron's 40,000 career points somehow put him ahead. But what MJ said next, it hit harder than any dunk or buzzer beater, and it's the part most LeBron fans have never heard. Yet. And that's exactly where things start to unravel, because this goes way deeper than just stats.
He hit the free throw and has one more.
Comes Mike.
Oh, yes, here comes Mike. Oh, what a play. We said he was on the runway the last time. What a play, and they want a timeout.
When footage of Michael Jordan resurfaced online, most people assumed it would be another highlight or motivational clip. But this one felt different. It was personal. In the video, MJ explains why chasing stats never motivated him. He says, "Good things happen to people who work hard. Stats? That's not what I played for. If I cared about those, I would have never retired."
Good things happen to those people that work hard. If I sit here and play for the stats, I would have never retired in '93.
That one quote threw gasoline on a fire that's been burning for years. The GOAT debate between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. And for the first time, Jordan didn't just let the media do the talking. He spoke for himself. Clearly. Directly, and the internet couldn't believe what he said next. Because to understand why Jordan's message hit so hard, we've got to unpack the exact stat LeBron fans have been leaning on for years. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the NBA's all-time leading scorer, the GOAT debate shifted dramatically.
For the record, he's got it! He's done it! LeBron James is now the all-time leading scorer in the history of the NBA. The king wears the crown. And you can see the relief on his face. You can see the relief on his face. The weight off his shoulders.
Get back to the story, please.
Before that moment, fans compared rings, MVPs, finals records, but once LeBron claimed the scoring title, the narrative evolved. Suddenly, longevity became the trump card. Analysts began saying things like, "You can't ignore 20 seasons of greatness. Availability is the best ability. Longevity is part of greatness." But here's the problem. MJ saw this coming. Years ago, he predicted that the narrative would move away from winning to counting. And that's exactly what happened. And the wildest part, MJ's stats were already mind-blowing, but he left points on the board because he cared more about something else. MJ's career, less time, more dominance. Let's break this down. Michael Jordan played 15 seasons and missed nearly 5 full years due to retirement, baseball, and injury. He still ended with over 32,000 points, 6 rings, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, and 10 scoring titles. Compare that to LeBron, over 20 seasons, 4 rings, 4 MVPs, 4 finals MVPs, more total points, but fewer scoring titles. Jordan averaged 30 points per game, the highest in NBA history. LeBron, around 27. MJ didn't need 20 years to make his case. In fact, his prime, from 1984 to 1998, was so dominant he had the league in a chokehold. But here's what really matters: why Jordan never chased Kareem. In that interview, Jordan makes it clear, "If I played for the stats, I would have never retired." He walked away from the game twice in his prime. Once in 1993, right after a three-peat. Then again in 1999, right after another three-peat. Why? Because for Jordan, Basketball wasn't about career milestones. It was about one thing: winning. Every season had one goal: a championship. And this is where the conversation gets uncomfortable for some fans. Because it forces people to ask a hard question. What's the point of greatness? Is it stats or winning? And what happens when the player with the most stats doesn't have the most wins? Well, that's where the entire GOAT argument starts to break down. How the media helped shift the narrative.
Go on, tell me.
Bleacher Report, ESPN, FS1. You name it, almost every major sports outlet has played a role in moving the goalposts on greatness. In a recent Bleacher Report article, MJ won the GOAT vote by a single ballot. And guess what their main argument for LeBron was? When you factor in longevity, his case is undeniable. This was the same outlet that crowned Kobe Bryant the player of the decade in 2018 over Tim Duncan and Shaq, yet somehow ranked him 11th all-time in 2025. The goalposts keep moving, and players like Jordan, who played in an era where dominance and rings were the ultimate measuring sticks, suddenly find themselves having to justify their greatness to an era obsessed with analytics and advanced metrics. But here's where Jordan separates himself.
Super play by Michael. He's got 6.
The essence of competition, what Jordan really valued. At the core of Jordan's philosophy is one thing: competition. He said it himself: winning. That's the only stat that mattered. And if you look at how he approached every game, that checks out. Jordan wasn't taking nights off. He wasn't chasing numbers and blowouts. He was obsessed with beating whoever stood in front of him. That's why he chose to host his recent Jordan Brand event in Greece, the birthplace of the Olympics, of competition itself. To Jordan, basketball isn't a numbers game. It's a battle, one that you either win or you don't. And that's why this soundbite was more than just a jab at LeBron. It was a reminder of what greatness used to mean. But there's still one twist that most people missed about the timing of this video. Why this clip surfaced now, and what it really means. This video of Jordan wasn't new, but the timing of its resurfacing, that was no accident. It popped up just as the GOAT debate reignited online, just as LeBron fans began using his 40K points to seal the deal. It was a subtle reminder from MJ's camp: don't forget who you're talking about. And the fact that it went viral speaks volumes. Fans haven't moved on. They still care. And deep down, even the loudest LeBron supporters know this. Jordan's legacy doesn't need help. It stands on its own, and maybe that's the biggest difference between them. The real GOAT argument was never about numbers. At the end of the day, the GOAT debate will never be settled by stats, because greatness can't be measured by how long you did it, only by how well you did it. Michael Jordan played fewer seasons, took more time off, and still managed to dominate an entire era of basketball, mentally, physically, and culturally. And when asked about his place in history, he didn't pull out a stat sheet. He just said, "It's about winning. That's the only stat that matters." Let that sink in. And if you're still watching this, you probably care about more than just numbers too. So before you go, make sure to subscribe, not just for more content like this, but because when you subscribe, you're keeping real basketball stories alive. We'll catch you in the next one.